And that's why when I first saw the trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2, I said that, oh no, this is gonna be a disaster, but I'm completely wrong. I am completely wrong about this. Nintendo Switch 2 is basically its own standalone console and will be its own standalone console. That's very, very good for Nintendo. And Nintendo, I think you did a great thing. I think you did a great idea with the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm wrong. I have to apologize for that. I have to acknowledge that I was wrong, and I have to apologize that I was wrong when I say that, I thought it was gonna be a Nintendo Wii U disaster. I was completely wrong about that, Nintendo. And me to say, but Nintendo, I pegged you wrong, man. I thought wrong about the Nintendo Switch 2, and you have to apologize because it, from what I saw on the Nintendo Switch Direct Live or the Nintendo Direct Live, um, basically I was wrong. I was wrong about it. Let's see if we can go over it again. What just happened. Um, I was completely wrong about it. I was completely wrong about this Nintendo Direct Live. Let's talk about the
Follow you? Yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
So Nintendo basically like so many innovative things was going on with this. I'll say that there are things that I did not like about the Switch 2, but there are things that I like. I like the fact that they included chat. Finally, they included chat. This is like them finally catching up to PlayStation and Xbox. But I still gotta say this, Nintendo, I apologize. I said that the Nintendo Switch 2 was gonna be like a Nintendo Wii U disaster, and it's not gonna have the support it needs, especially etc. etc. But I was wrong. I can guarantee you this, Nintendo, that the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna sell a lot. It is going to sell a lot because it came with a lot of new innovations and a lot new attributes and things like that, and probably the mistakes that the Nintendo Switch had, the Nintendo Switch 2 will not have because they probably worked on those issues. And then it's still portable, it's still compressed. You understand what I'm saying? So it being small, it being still able to take it around and things like that, that made it very, very good for me to watch that the Nintendo Switch 2 wasn't going to be like something huge that you have to lunk around and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of like an upgrade, but it's kind of like more than just an upgrade. It still is a new console within its own rights, and that's what I actually saw when I watched this video. They talked about chat. Let's see if we can go down to the features of what they were talking about. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's go through this a little bit.
As you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with them. It's not just a Nintendo improved in Nintendo Switch. I think they really and truly learned from the mistake of the Nintendo Wii U. They really and truly learned from their mistake with Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Wii U. So they really and truly brought their A game to this. One of the main things that I did not agree with, like I said before, is the mouse. The mouse thing was kind of gimmicky, and like I said before, the Nintendo Wiimote worked way better than like how the mouse did. And I think that's a concept that they made the Nintendo Wii U mode, the Nintendo mode, the Wiimote. When they made the Wiimote, it was basically to kind of imitate a mouse, but now we are using the mouse to imitate the Wiimote because the Wiimote had so much more freedom with what you did. You know, so I don't know. They're probably going to have to like improve on the Wiimote, just like how they had to have the Wiimote Plus, the Nintendo Switch 2 mouse is gonna have to be improved. You understand? So yeah.
We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features. And to help players better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto! Hi.
Hello. My current location is actually inside the game itself. This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. I'm standing over here. Okay, everyone, join me inside the game.
So this is like game that they're going to release with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm hoping that you don't have to pay for it, because I really loved Nintendo Land on the Wii U. That was a great game. That was a really awesome game that showed you how awesome the Wii U was. And like I said before, the Wii U was like it was an awesome thing, but they shouldn't have tried to cash in from the sales of the Nintendo Wii, because that's how the system basically failed. That's how the system basically failed. They did not sell it as its own system. They basically were just banking on people buying it because it was like Wii was in the name and the Wii sold so much and stuff like that, and then Nintendo Wii was winning the console wars and things like that. But it seems that that with the Nintendo Switch 2, that they are really taking it a step up and making it its own console. You understand what I'm saying? So the Nintendo Wii U was unrealized hardware, unrealized potential. That was what really upset me about the Nintendo Wii U. I really love the Wii U. I really think it was really awesome, but it was unrealized potential that they just like kind of did not support properly. And it seems that Nintendo Switch 2 is getting all the support it needs to be a successful console. So they're basically putting their backs behind the Nintendo Switch 2.
There are a lot of question mark icons here. Let's examine them. This sign reads, "Where are the magnets?" The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach to the system with magnets. And those magnets are inside the system.
People, and I've expressed this before, that was one of the main things I did not like. The magnets are inside the console. Magnets mess up your screen. If you take a magnet right now and put it near your screen, it's going to have a lot of discoloration. So I don't know if they've really beta tested this a lot, but the magnets are going to mess up the screen. That's why I was like saying that the whole snap-on bit, they could have just made it remain with the original or find another way to snap it on. But basically, you know, the whole thing is that magnets are not gonna work, man.
The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal, so that's how they attach to the system. A magnetic circuit is formed between them, so they won't easily detach. Through examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2.
All right, let's move on to something else. It's going on to the mouse right now. Let's go to the mouse.
Are possible. There are secrets to discover.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, when we had the Wii mode, we could have just easily done that. Look at the difference between the mouse and the Wii mode. You understand what I'm saying? Or you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Right? Watch this. We're going to do that right now, because I think it's something that we have to talk about. Wii Motion Plus. Right? Look at this. All right, we're looking at the Wii Motion Plus and stuff. Look at this.
Questions?
How did you become?
I'm gonna make this commercial. Play fair use.
I've always
fair
been passionate
use.
about no fees
All right.
and minimums on checking accounts.
Aren't you in the Hall of Fame? And didn't you live in space?
What's in your wallet?
See, look at that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, easy swiping, easy doing, you understand? And it was able to do much more than that. See, that's what I'm saying. Look at the movements of the Wiimote and then compare that to the let's enlarge the screen. Compare that now
Even
to
as you're playing minigames
the
and
mouse.
demos.
See, I don't
Some
see
of the
like
secrets
something
range from
like
the
look at
unique
that. That
features of
looks
the
very,
system
very like
to tiny details you might not notice until they're pointed out. There are plenty. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
I don't think you see many people are gonna see these problems. We're gonna see these problems. We're gonna notice them. That's why I said I don't know why they got rid of the idea of the controls of the Wiimote because it was so spot on. The controls of the Wiimote was so spot on, point and click.
Will launch as a paid digital game on the
All
same
right, so
day as
let's look at the let's talk about the launch games. I want to talk about the like games like where is it? Where is it? Let's find it. Of course, you have Metroid Prime 4. See again. Let's look at this now. Look at this, right? Look at this. I want you to look at this. Nintendo, this is something we could have done with the Wiimotes. This is not, to me, this is not innovation. You understand what I'm saying? Because you could do this with the Wiimote Plus, the Wii Motion Plus. You understand? So, like, this is not really, this is like, as I said before, I love the Nintendo Switch 2. I love what I saw so far, but this is actually a step back in terms of controls. In my opinion.
Has almost completed a weapon that
This game.
freedom was
This game is going to be awesome. Like anytime Nintendo releases a game like this or makes games like this, look at Astral Chain. Like if there's one thing I like about Nintendo is that the games that they release most times are top quality games. Now we got another game that's rivaling like all those other free to play online games and stuff like that, and it looks kind of like, what's that game called again? That game that is not selling on Xbox. That dead game. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Watch this.
We will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment.
I thought it was actually Astral Chains 2, but it's not.
Thanks for the warm welcome! This planet will be ours.
The Sovereign Axiom, the Trinitas, has almost completed a weapon that was created to destroy all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you. I'll tear you apart!
All children, bring hope to our lives.
Gamer. No. Looks like an awesome game that's about to be released for the Nintendo Switch. They're also bringing Star Wars Outlaw. Like, these people have to stretch the Star Wars Outlaw people have to stretch their bands as wide as they can get it and stuff. So,
Don't they?
Captain, is that mic supposed to be on?
The story of light and shadow that never fades is reborn.
Evolution in the original releases.
山口です。 任天堂スイッチ2でファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードを発売いたします。本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7 を体験いただけます。
Final Fantasy 7 is gonna sell a lot.
FF7 リメイク
It is going to sell a lot. You know, Kirby Air Ride coming back from Nintendo GameCube. And then this one. This also is gonna be a great game. Donkey Kong Country Bonanza. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Bring back Conquer 2. And again, I think Nintendo should... Let me pause this. Nintendo. Bring back Star Fox Assault. Not even Star Fox Assault. Create a new Star Fox game. Put the idea of Star Fox Assault and Star Fox 64 together and create a completely new Star Fox game. The reason why I say Star Fox Assault, I like the idea of Star Fox Assault, in which I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. I believe that the concept of Battlefield was the idea of being able to jump out of your aircraft while you're flying it and do whatever you're doing was stolen from Star Fox Assault. I think that idea was stolen from Star Fox Assault. And personally, here's what I'm saying. A lot of people disagree with me, but I believe that Star Fox Assault was a really great sequel to Star Fox 64. Right? It brought new concepts, new ideas to the thing. If you put Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Assault ideas together, you are going to have a great Star Fox game for Nintendo Switch 2. And Nintendo, you probably already have this idea, you know, running and bubbling over and stuff like that. And you're probably getting ready to release the trailer for Star Fox, if you have a trailer for Star Fox and stuff like that. But let me tell you something, Nintendo. Just as how I said in a video that Nintendo, your fans need Xenoblade X, Chronicles X to come over to Nintendo Switch 2. Your fans need a new Star Fox game, a better Star Fox game than the one that you made on Nintendo. Like I said before, Nintendo, the Wii U did not get the support that it was supposed to get. It did not get the drive, the commercials, the games that it was supposed to get. And that's why the Nintendo Wii U failed. It was unrealized potential that was not supported properly. And it was not made as its separate and own console. It was like a cash grab from the Nintendo Wii, which is what I did not like. It was a disaster. That's why the Nintendo Wii U was a disaster. And that's why when I first saw the trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2, I said that, oh no, this is gonna be a disaster, but I'm completely wrong. I am completely wrong about this. Nintendo Switch 2 is basically its own standalone console and will be its own standalone console. That's very, very good for Nintendo. And Nintendo, I think you did a great thing. I think you did a great idea with the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm wrong. I have to apologize for that. I have to acknowledge that I was wrong, and I have to apologize that I was wrong when I say that, you know, I thought it was going to be a Nintendo Wii U disaster. I was completely wrong about that, Nintendo, and I am sorry. You know, I've always been a Nintendo fanboy my entire life. My first Nintendo was the Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the NES or NES as we called it back home. Nintendo, you're doing a great job with Nintendo Switch 2, even though that there are things with the Nintendo Switch 2 that I do not like. It does not make it a less great console. I think it's gonna surpass the Switch in terms of how the Switch was created. I think it upgraded on the Switch, but it is its own standalone console. It is its own standalone console. And I have to apologize for, doubting Nintendo, pegging them wrong and saying that, nah, this is going to be a disaster. This is not going to sell. I was completely wrong about the Nintendo Switch 2. And I stand corrected. I was completely wrong about that. But anyway, Nintendo, hats off to you, man. Hats off to you. I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna sell a lot. It's gonna sell in the millions, probably even the billions. I guess we just have to see the price range for it now. If it's below like $300, it's gonna sell even more. It is going to sell even more. If you can make the Nintendo Switch below $300, you will sell a lot. You'll sell a lot. Don't overprice it like Xbox. Don't overprice it like PlayStation. You understand? That's why PlayStation don't sell. Like, I don't see all the hubbub about PlayStation. I don't care what people say. I don't care what you say. PlayStation can go and... Okay? If you can read lips, people. PlayStation can go and... Right? I don't see what the hubbub is about PlayStation. Everybody's about graphics. But where are the gameplay? Nintendo has always been a console about innovation and gameplay. And that's what Nintendo is known for. Innovation and gameplay. And it has stuck to that tried and true method. And it has worked. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Let it continue. And people will continue to support Nintendo because of this main idea of innovation and having fun while you play games. Anyway, people, that's it for my commentary. Tell me what you think. If I was wrong about Nintendo Switch 2, enough love and respect. Peace. I am out.